This is like a final battle. Mind has gone out of control since time immemorial, so it's very powerful. And you want it back, become quiet. That's habitual to keep thinking, keep thinking. So much of strong habits has been picked up. So this is like a dual battle. What is important is your enthusiasm, your attitude of determination. Like sometimes I even explain, think that you are playing a tennis match, the opponent is hitting and you hit and you don't give up, keep hitting. Like that, if you are enthusiastic, then one day you will have the upper hand, it will come. So we all did that what we did. Never give up. It will come. Have that faith, definitely. It has to. When it becomes restless, you just have to watch yourself and take care that you exercise patience and become relaxed. Not to be in a restless position. If you are restless, you are applying too much of energy and wasting your energy. That could be stressful. That much is not necessary. This is infinite, mind is. You just have to be quiet and skillfully, slowly. So like that. Technically you have to adapt the things. So thus at that time your enthusiasm, again as I was telling him, and go slow. Don't feel like, sometimes you might feel like it's not, that would feel like banging your head if it's not coming, feel restless. Have patience, it will not come like that. Okay, it will come. Okay, once again, let me try again. Relaxed and then watch. It's restless, it's going on and going on. Then again relax. If necessary, take a long inhale and exhale of the breath. That helps in bringing down the restlessness of the mind. That will be helpful. You have sweets in your hand, ice cream, you are a diabetic, you forget that you are diabetic and start eating. Something like that could have happened to the self also. Something his brain keeps working. This is sensible, really sensible. It forgot that it has to keep quiet, then it will have peace, and then started creating. That's what I was trying to tell you. You have ice cream and you are a diabetic, you forgot you are a diabetic and started eating the ice cream. That is how it has happened. So what I have explained, the self as it is never created anything. Only a portion, we can call it enormous portion, came and that started creating. So but the actual Parabrahma remains intact. Nothing happens to that. It is in supreme peace and in Mahasamadhi. As it is, the whole mind doesn't create, only a portion. For us also, if you observe, the whole mind doesn't start creating. First, a small portion can create, but slowly as the time passes by, the mind, the rest of the mind becomes preoccupied with the creation. So that's when it forgets about its real that self. That's what happens. So that we can tell, like as I told, the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva concept. First, when the enormous amount created, it did not forget about the self. It was well aware of the self. It remained in the self. It did not get involved with the creation. That's why the first trinities are known as the divine personalities, concepts, in other words. But the next generation, they became insecure and greedy for power, throne, fight, everything started happening. So they forgot the self totally, what they are. As they forgot the self, they went away and away from the self. So that's how it has happened. In fact, the master teaches the students finally to have such an approach. There never was anything got created at all. because that helps your mind also to cool down. Otherwise, if you start thinking why this creation, who forgot whom, why to bother all these things, it's not our concern. You just become quiet, that's it. So that is the advice is necessary. Otherwise, this can be mind-boggling. So if you lose the body, life after life can be gone for a long time into that illusion. No question was ever asked and no answer was given. Yeah, that is what the illusion is. So we are all, means everybody dancing on the assumption of an I which never existed at all, which does not exist at all always. Still we want to hold on to that one with simply an assumption or imagination. And do not stick to any one particular theory at all. When we answer, we are just trying to give you a clue so that you can give up the thinking and become quiet. That is the teaching a master would like to give. Otherwise, if you ask for theories, this is it, that's why you see one important thing. The ancient sages were also wise, they understood this point. If we try to give the theory, it will be like trying to measure the space and tell कि space is 12 feet, one person said, another said, no, space is 65 feet. Like that, it's never-ending process. It's a mind-boggling thing. So they called it boundless, simply boundless. See, that is what in science, all these things, they try to give a definite theory, but never happens. After some time, something else is discovered. Not hitherto what humanity was thinking, it's not like that, it is like this. They may come out with some new theory. So they have to understand that there is no conclusive theory or final thing for this. The root cause is just to become quiet, that's all. Otherwise this keeps happening for them. Planets keep coming. They can name on any number of planets. Nothing concrete has happened so far. Astronomically, they keep watching, sometimes black holes are happening, some other light engulfing a sun, this type of thing keep coming. These are all illusions. You see, space does not exist, it's void, yet it exists as space. That is the speciality of the space, to exist as nothing. This one thing has the speciality, that is how the self exists. It exists as nothing, but yet it exists. That's what it is there and it is not there. So finally, you have to experience. What you have to understand is, you have to become quiet. That's what the master tries to teach you, tries to take you to that point that once you firmly have the conviction, everything is all right, simply you have to become quiet. Then the master says, there is nothing else that I have to teach, you become quiet. Like Janaka said to Shuka Maharshi, when Shuka Maharshi thought, I am a brahmachari, born in a monastery and lived in celibacy, never got married. So all the time I am able to keep my attention to the divinity, to the self. But Janaka is a king, he is a householder. How is it possible for him that he is able to keep the attention onto the self? So Vedavyasa tells you, you go to the master, considering him as a master, seeking his permission, ask this question. He comes there. But first Janaka tells you, I have some court duties, so you go around the town of Mithila. When you come back, then we can talk. But before going, he keeps a candle light on the head. Please take care that this doesn't fall. He goes around and comes back. Then Janaka asks, what did you get to see in my Mithilapura? How is it? Is it nice? He said, O king, what do I say? You had asked me to take care of this candle. My eyes were watching, but I did not see anything at all. because all the time my consciousness was on this, that this should not fall down. Then Janaka says, okay, this is all I have to teach, there is nothing else. Just like your attention was there, but your body was going, like that we also live in this world. I attend to court duties, but my consciousness is always on the self. So that's what is necessary one to learn finally. So this question, how a thing that does not exist appears to be exist, that's what the illusion. Because you see, about matter, whatever has been taught to you, you have assumed that to be the truth. Instead, the space also can be a matter. They gave the substance as a matter for various reasons. This is because this is matter and this is space. They thought, okay, this space is just nothing. They neglected. But the space can be matter and this is just nothing for somebody. They want to assume like that one. So simply you have assumed by listening to somebody's talks, like I am talking to you. Simply if you assume and keep quiet, you will never become self-realized. You have to become quiet and experience the truth. That is what is necessary. So it is important that you don't get involved into existence or non-existence. Whichever suits your temperament, you take one of them and keep going, so that one day you are there where you don't bother whether it exists or does not exist. Simply important that you don't bother, then you have peace. If you bother, you lose peace. By practicing, like, either try to remember the Guru's name when you are busy with other work also, so that the mind remains into single pointedness, or simply accept the results as it comes in the life, so that your mind cools down and keeps quiet, it doesn't get agitated unnecessarily. Then also its attention is onto the self only. Whenever the mind is quiet or concentrated, its attention is on the self only. So that's why the beginning of the retreat also I try to advocate, try to maintain silence as much as possible. This much I told. Whether in your room, whether in the hall, whether on the dining table, anywhere you go, try to maintain, unless it's very much necessary that you need to convey to someone. Try unnecessary talks and unnecessary gossips, what is happening there, this is happening there, outside the gate what is happening, all these things, avoid bothering too much. That is the teaching, so that you practice keeping quiet mentally also, that's the idea. Yet you see all human beings, they are habitual to keep talking. You go to a room, you don't talk or somebody will be talking to you. They don't allow you to sit peacefully because they have to talk. I mean, generally for educational purpose, I'm telling you, some people become so habitual, they cannot keep quiet. Single moment they get, and they will try to talk on the phone. 2 minutes break is there, they will try to talk on the cell phone. They are habitual. We all are habitual. Human beings are like that one. So these habits is what? 10 days we try to make you to give up without trying to be harsh on you, anybody, just instructing. If only you can listen to me, practice this, practice this, practice this. Afterwards, when you go back, you talk, your samsara is there always. You keep talking, but try to avoid talking. Just accept whatever is there. So that is what is important, which can help you to keep your attention onto the self when it is silent. Some articles we have read that some historians have mentioned that a personality like Jesus they have met sometime somewhere in Kashmir. See, that portion of his life is not known generally. So when he went away from home and after a long time he came, after that, perhaps only 3 or 4 years only he was alive when he started giving his teachings. By watching his teachings, it was all about the self. He used the terminologies that were prevailing in that area. He spoke about the kingdom. The kingdom is the nirvana or the liberation. When you are liberated, you reach the kingdom. He also said, the kingdom will not come the way that you are thinking, it will come in its own way. This kingdom means everybody started thinking it is the kingdom on this earth that you will become a king. That was not the kingdom he was telling. And he spoke of the Father. The Father is the divinity that symbolizing. Instead of divinity, he spoke of the Father, Holy Spirit, like these things. Watching all this only, but he definitely practiced meditation. And he came to India. In those days also, India has seen always self-realized masters enormously. This trend is there since ancient times. This is going on. So, as we people here, even today, you are able to sustain yourself. Like in the West, it may be difficult. It may not be possible to sustain like that and to go and sit in a cave or do meditation. Nobody will bother about you. Here, at least, if you are sitting, somebody will come and provide you some bread or something to eat. So, like this type of things happen. So, he would definitely have come. It's only a guess. We have to think the way that he talked. Whether he was in Rishikesh, Nalanda or Kashmir, what he taught, the teaching is more important for people. So that's what, if one can follow, then they will be benefited. In due course of time, time is not an entity which will stand, hit and smash and powder the head. That's what we need to understand. So that is what happens. It is infinity. It is not an entity that is there. So that's how it is recognized. It is here today. So in due course of time, after 10 years, after 20 years, the body will die. So that's how the time. So time will consume everything. It goes. So anything that has appeared, it has a stay of only for a short while or for some time only. That's what we try to recognize as time, but nobody has seen what the time is. Time itself is. That time itself is what the self, finally, ultimate truth. That is never seen, you see. Mind is never seen. Mind nobody has seen in naked eye. Everything that is in the mind, people recognize, people talk, people discuss, everything they do. But mind itself, hardly people discuss or try to understand what it is. It is infinite, mind itself. It is the mind which creates, the mind which consumes, means withdraws. In the terminologies, many people have confusions about destruction, withdrawal is different. Like, generally it is said, Brahma is the creator, Vishnu as the protector, Shiva as the destroyer. So for this many people are averse, Indians talking particular. I have told, we need to modify the understanding. He is not the destroyer, it's withdrawal. So you create something in your mind. As long as you want, you sustain that story. And when you are tired, you become quiet, means you withdraw that. So you are not harming anybody in that process. Right? You created which never got created. You protected which was never existed. You withdrew which was not there in any form. So like that is the actual truth. To understand that truth, you have to meditate. Until then it's not possible. Finally, we have to accept, if nothing else we don't understand, we just have to accept the fact that it has the capacity to whatever it wants to do. That's why it is divine in nature. Yeah, that's why I tell, try to be gentle as possible for yourself. Do not be harsh and do not become restless, and you are likely to harm yourself because that is infinite. No matter you put your hand like this, it's not, the space is not coming to my hand. I lose my temper, I keep hitting. Come on, come on. So it doesn't happen like that. This fact we have to understand. Now, this is not coming to my hand, but I can bring the mind to this level is possible. That's what. Everything that is in there, you just relax. Practice. Then you will get to feel that is an energetic force which becomes quiet and it can expand, it can become contracted, become quiet. So there is something is there, not without any substantial existence value that we are struggling to make it quiet. That's what you have to realize. Everybody who meditates, once you catch it, that one, then you focus your attention on that one. Till then, you are simply struggling with the thoughts. With the thoughts are there, visions are there. Many people don't even progress further, but they get involved with the visions and thoughts. They want to know what the vision, who gave the vision, what the meaning of the vision. It's all waste of time. 3 days have gone by analyzing, trying to make a judgment. They go to a guru. The guru is a very good composer of stories. He will tell some story about the vision. So this is it, this is it, this is it. But the mind has not become quiet. No useful thing has happened. So there is one story. About that, another story has been told to satisfy temporarily. So like that it goes on and on. But the real teaching is, do not bother about it. Means don't become restless also. Relax, relax. Then you will get to feel that thing is there. That doesn't appear to be there anything at all, but yet you feel that your consciousness of existing expands and it can contract. This is possible. This is one of the main experience themes that you obtain during the deeper meditations. There is nothing, but yet you feel the contraction and expansion. With the expansion, the thoughts increase. With the contraction, the thoughts decrease. Silence, you experience the silence. Yeah, it will come because the mind has become habitual. So you are coaxing it, keep quiet, keep quiet. Suddenly it escapes and runs away. The child has gone there. The mother goes after that one. I told you not to play in the mud. I told you not to play. She brings it and washes everything. She keeps it. 2 minutes she goes to do some small cooking and it runs again to the mud. That's how the mind is, child. So your effort should be to bring it back, make it quiet, so that it picks up such habit and it tires and doesn't go out anymore, the mind. Yeah, if you stop paying attention to the thoughts or you just watch, then the thoughts disappear, the gap increases. That gap you will feel, that is the consciousness of existence. That's what you will get to experience. But for that, you have to just watch so that the thoughts disappear. But as long as the thoughts are there, your attention is on the thought and you don't notice that gap at all. There's a very tiny, minute thing is there, thought after thought, thought after thought. When millions of thoughts are coming, it goes unnoticed. You don't get time. But if you succeed in just watching then the millions of thoughts all decrease, they collapse. So then this gap only becomes visible. So that's what is the consciousness of existence. Constant craving of the mind is the basic reason. So any of these things creates such cravings. That's what it is. That's why the ancient sages called it 6 enemies of human mind, actually. Extreme greediness, extreme anger, and extreme stinginess, extreme attachment to materialistic things, and false pride, jealousy. So these are the negative thoughts. Means any thought comes under the heading of any of these things. Otherwise the thoughts will subside and stop finally. So that's what happens. Until the thoughts does not subside and dissolve, the unhappiness is always there. Craving will always be there, generates. The slightest difference will be this body is alive, so the consciousness is a little bit touch with the brain. That's how this is alive. And the body drops, that finally merges totally. Doesn't come up even an iota also. That's why Jivan Mukta, while alive in the body, they are known as, or Videha Muktas, when the body is dropped, that's come. But while Jivan Mukta also, they are self-realized. Why? The mind doesn't go into craving or further imaginations. They don't lose control over that. They are staying in the awareness of the self all the time. That has to happen. So that much of difference will be there.
So like one step, small step more in.
This is small step, not the more. It is simply a status. They both are equally. But if the body is there, they are able to give teachings to others. The body is gone, then simply depends on your faith. No teachings can be given. No answer can be given for your questions. So you need to have your faith, whatever you have. So that's what happens. I give teachings as long as the body is there. I am able to talk a language that all of you are able to understand through your physical body. The same language. But once I drop the body, the language that I speak, none of you can understand. Swamiji is able to speak now, but nobody can understand his language until you yourself don't become self-realized. So that is the difference of the body. The body is gone. Body will go, it is definitely.
Meditation, like closing the eyes when one is sleeping, it will be more similar to that.
It is the same whether I close the eyes, go to meditation, or I am opening the eyes and just watching his theme. To inspire people, I also sit down sometimes. So that's what I do, so that others feel inspired. Sometimes I don't feel like, if I have to answer questions, I don't go more deeper. I try to keep awake myself. I just keep sitting something and keep doing something a little bit, so that I am alert to this world. That is necessary, na? So that's what important. Otherwise you will take me granted. Closing the eyes, it is quiet. Open the eyes, it is quiet. Simply the eyes gets closed and eyes open. The idol is sitting there. You put a curtain, the idol is there. You take out the curtain, idol is there. No, in my opinion, it is wrong. Some teachers do employ this one, many of the people. It's for wrong reasons. See, there is something wrong is there and you are searching. illusion has happened and the enlightenment is not there. If it was there, your search would have ended. You would have been traveling here, there, and all things. You would have started teaching. While teaching, you would have been completely contented. Yes. So to give an illusion, so I tell you are already enlightened. So I tell that you are an emperor, you are president of America. You start thinking, oh, I am the president of America. But you are not the president of America, is the truth. If I tell that you are enlightened, I am not eligible to be a teacher at all, and I myself is not enlightened. That's why I am telling that you are also enlightened. If I am a teacher, never compromise on this thing. Even if you accuse me, if you get annoyed with me, if you run away from me, I will talk the truth that you need to get enlightened, you need to practice, you need to get rid of thoughts, visions, everything. That is the truth. So the truth I have to talk. It happened, I fully understand. One of my Swamiji's devotees, she was a lady, when we completed tapas and came 20 years ago, she told ki she was going to another lady saint. That lady saint told ki, you are already enlightened, you don't have to get any enlightenment. Is this true, Swamiji? She asked me. Babaji, is this true that I am enlightened? What do you see in me? I simply asked her, do you have the peace? Do you have the awareness of your real self? Or simply thoughts are going on in your mind? Based on the thoughts only, you are thinking that you are enlightened. You tell me. Because nobody else can know what's happening in your mind. You know. You don't need a teacher or another saint to tell that you are enlightened. If you are enlightened, your search stops there. The mind stops. You are at peace totally. If it is not there, the peace is not there, your mind is not quiet, you are not enlightened. Don't believe that saint who tells like that one. You need to get enlightened. You work for that one. Because otherwise, simply you keep thinking you are enlightened and this body will die one day and you are not enlightened. Next birth you will lose control, what you will become. You will come back into the spinning again, and there that saint will not be there to tell you that you are enlightened and you are struggling and moving here and there. What's the use? Enlightenment is a thing you need to achieve. It's not a thing that somebody has to give you a certificate. So this is what I answered. You don't need anybody's certificate or telling anybody that you are enlightened. Simply I tell you are enlightened, as Ambaji tell you will give 20,000 rupees, you are happy that you have been declared an enlightened. So yeah, that is what happening. We have seen that, both Ambaji, we have seen. Instead of that, if you conceive, you can get enlightened. If you put in effort, feel enthusiastic about that, that's what will see you through. Otherwise, it is 50-50. Often, it can make you lazy also. You are close to enlightenment, just like a rabbit. But the tortoise was slow and steady wins the race. It was going. It never stopped. It ran, the rabbit ran, and it thought, oh, tortoise so slow, I can take a nap before. Then it went on sleeping and the tortoise reached the goal. That's what happens. So these things are not helpful. It is simply creating another further illusion. And they form a club members. I am also enlightened, you are also enlightened. So that's why Swamiji said one thing. If any guru tells, I will do it for you, I will give you, never believe. Tells you have to do it, self-effort, purushartha. A guru only teaches the path and as a torch bearer inspires you, guides you, be with you, Nobody can give self-realization to the other. It is your mind which has to become quiet. Yeah. So as she was talking, the elephant entering a small thatched hut. Now a small portion of mind is operating in all your bodies. Its potency is just 10%. When it becomes silent means as it goes on, silent becomes, then it merges with the expanded consciousness, the all-pervaded consciousness. That is many 100,000 potency consciousness. So when that is sitting in these bodies, so that's what the vibrations it came out. As soon as we come out of the tapa, still we have not been able to control it slowly. For some time, like in the beginning years, I used to be dazed. Anybody called me, used to go there. Anybody asked me to sit down, used to sit down. Never resisted, never told anything. These type of things were happening. So Ambaji was looking after me at that time, carefully. Means these are your devotees, Babaji, you need to recognize. Otherwise, your organizer is sending them away, they don't want them to come. Any such thing she was looking after. Any food that was given, she used to tell, no, this is not suitable to Babaji, you should not give. For that reason, they became annoyed with her. She became a stumbling block. They wanted to get rid of her. She was, then they wrote to me, why can you make that Rekha doesn't come with you, then we can come to pick you up. So that's when that resistance came. Because I have seen her from an young girl and looking after this body during the tapas. When that was touched, so that came. Until then, I was not resisting anything, I didn't know. So like that, the vibrations keep coming. Slowly then we controlled that one. So slowly controlled. In the beginning it was there, everybody, they wanted to see, means they were thinking that this is some power, we need to catch hold, control that one. So then we can do that one. That's how people felt about that one. If they are also a little bit receptive, that's important. They need to be. Like otherwise, Buddha may be there in a gas pump and they won't notice. If they are totally dropped out people, not even a slightest also. See, last year the lady who sent you here, your friend, the amount of vibration that you would have felt in me, she wouldn't have felt. Because their imagination is still a brother-disciple, not above me much, too much. So they have some respect, but don't get attracted that much. So the difference in the receptiveness makes a difference. So then when the receptiveness is there, they are able to feel, otherwise they won't feel. Even now also, if a receptive is very strong, they are able to feel. Means several boys who came closer to me, served me, they could not feel that receptiveness and they abused and went away. I don't know what receptiveness she has got, she has seen in me. She has stayed with me. I call it, she's only a mad or a stupid or what is it.